Hey everybody, welcome to this video. Thank you for checking in and seeing what's going on in the garage. I'm about halfway through building the bike, and I've been documenting it as I've been going along. And usually what I would do is I would film a lot of stuff and then I'd edit it, and probably, I don't know, for every 10 minutes or so that I shoot, maybe a minute of it, 2 minutes of it would actually make the final cut, because there's a lot of you know, getting in the way and stuff that doesn't look right, and moving cameras around and things. So I don't put a lot of the stuff that's into it. This is what, like week 4 of lockdown now, so we've not got a lot of things that we can do anyway. So I just thought, while I'm chopping this thing to bits, you know, the bike is giving me something to do while we're on lockdown. I just thought I'd film it and I'd put it online. What I would usually do is remove quite a lot of footage and just give you a sort of a small section of it. But what I've decided to do, because I think I've pretty much watched every video there is ever now on YouTube, and I'm running out of stuff to watch, is I thought that I would just include a lot more of the actual footage than what I would usually do, just because it gives you something to watch, really. Let's get into it. So yeah, thank you for watching, subscribe, and let's get this thing built. So here she is, this is it. It's a, like I said, 2000, so this is the first generation SV650. It's in a really nice dark blue, but I'm going to be painting it anyway. If you've never seen one of these things before, V-twin engine makes not a lot of power. I think it's something like 60 something brake horsepower if you're lucky in the real world. And bear in mind, this bike is now, what, 20 years old, so it's going to be down on power compared to some of the modern stuff anyway. This particular one hasn't got anything really done to it apart from the exhaust. So this is, it's a common thing on SVs that you do the high-rise exhaust on it. So high level pipe there, as you can see. So usually the standard one would come out about here and it sort of pokes out at this level, whereas this one comes up and then comes out. It's not got anything mega done to it, so standard on the SV650. Twin headlights, this is your side light. It's got a horrible blue screen on it, don't know if you can see that, but that's awful. The mirrors, so as you can see, this is sort of the level of damage that I'm dealing with on this bike. So it's obviously been down the road at some point, and there's a lot of parts that look like this. Here is particularly bad. I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera. So if you just see here, there's been some type of a bodge touch-up paint thing, which again, don't care, because if you can see it there, look, it doesn't matter to me because all of this front fairing is going anyway, so all of this will be coming off. The forks, I actually quite like the forks. They look quite plain and they look a little bit sort of vintage and classic, which is good. I don't want a bike that looks really kit and sort of trick on this. I want to keep it looking quite traditional. So if you imagine if I was to have something like that on the front of it, it would look a little bit too much for what I'm going for, whereas they look quite unassuming and quite plain. The engine itself is absolutely fine, so it's been well looked after from what I can see. There's some documented history with it. The downpipe, I don't know if you can see if I come down low enough, there is some very nice dents in the downpipe, so I have got another one to replace that. But you've got the standard sort of V-twin, so if it's like that, V-twin motor. The frame itself, I like the exposed frame. If I was to make a sort of money no object cafe racer, I would probably do it out of a Ducati, because I've always liked the sort of scaffolding frames that Ducatis have, so that's a good point for me. The tank itself, this will be coming off. A lot of these stickers will be coming off as well, and then the rest of it will just get sort of sanded down and sorted out. But you can see there's a lot of scratches, if you can see that there. So you can see there's a lot of scratches and marks on it, which for me doesn't matter because I'm going to be stripping this down and painting it. Come down the bottom of the bike. So you've got this, oh yeah, the exhaust is by far the most bodged element on this bike. So you've got your standard link pipe, comes into this kinked sort of upper S link pipe, which is what allows the exhaust to jump up and then come out the top rather than coming out down here. So you can see this is the standard exhaust hanger, so the standard one would have been here somewhere, coming out down here. There's this Nice little chrome piece, and then the elegant exhaust that's on this. So first of all, you've got what looks like somebody soldered it on instead of welding it, and it's the same on the other end. There's no branding on this exhaust whatsoever, and then on the back it's got a bit of a shotgun tip on it, but it's also rusted inside, so it's yeah, this exhaust is definitely going. Someone stuck some Monster Energy stickers on the back of it. I don't know why. I don't know whether that's covering something up, I'm not too sure, but they'll be coming off anyway. So my intention is keep this seat for now. Could end up, or I could try and wrap it in some sort of brown leather to be in keeping with the classic stuff. The rear seat is going to be replaced with a sort of seat cowl, the plain unit, to give this a sort of a humped racer rear seat. Grab rail will be coming off, and then the back end for now will be staying. Wheels, I'm probably going to paint them. I'm quite liking, if you can see, spin the camera around, this is my Tracer 900. I quite like this grey, the sort of modern grey that people are going for. This one's got a little bit of a blue tinge to it, so what I'm thinking with this is maybe a sort of Audi grey with gold wheels. Leave the frame as it is, so I'll probably take the wheels off and do them gold, or like a bronzy gold, and then yeah, then that's it. So the front fairing will all be coming off, the headlights will be coming out. I'm going to leave the bars and I'll leave everything else. Somebody's put some rental grips on it, if you can see that there. So you've got the rental grips, they'll be coming off. I've got to think about what to do with these clocks, because I'm going to have to mount them behind whatever sort of front fairing setup I get. This can all stay, all of this setup can stay. If I can, I'll try and keep the clocks. If I can't, I'll have to get some aftermarket unit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, so that's it. That's the bike, and hopefully it'll give me something to do over the next 3 weeks of lockdown. So, this should give you an idea of the direction that I'm really going to be going with it. This is the first part. So, this is going to be the front fairing for the bike. So, I don't know whether you can see that. So that's going to be the front nose fairing with the circular headlight. It's a part apparently made to fit quite a lot of different Suzukis, so we'll see. It's obviously in a nice gloss black, but I will be painting it when it comes time. I'll paint it with the rest of the bike. Everything that I buy will be test fitted first though, just to make sure that everything fits, and then we'll go from there. So that's the fairing piece. To go with it, I've also got a screen which came with it. The screen, lens and the fairing came as a set, and they came from Germany. So one screen, which again has got a little bit of a tint to it, a little bit of a dark tint. I don't know if you can see, a little bit of a dark tint to it, but it's not too bad, so I think that should look quite sleek and quite cool. And then it also comes with this, which is the lens cap, so just the circular, I think it's plastic, yeah, so just a plastic lens cap. Looks like a big contact lens, doesn't it? So the plastic lens cap, which this is a 7-inch unit I believe, so it'll take anything up to a 7-inch headlight. I'm going to get everything test fitted first though, and make sure the fairing fits, and have a look at how much distance I've actually got. So imagine that's on the bike, and that's sort of fitted up. I don't know how much distance I'm going to have between where the sort of top yoke and the bars sit to then fit everything in, because I do know on these that there is a bracket that sits behind the headlight, and this is going to have to be mounted to that bracket. So we'll see. I don't really know how this is going to go until I get into it, so I'm just going to wing it. So that's the fairing. Now this fixing kit, the bolts gone. This is actually let's get into this. There you go, rear seat cowl that will go on the back of the bike, and it'll just give it a bit of a hump. I get the impression, I know there are some really expensive kits that you can buy that will give you a bigger, a taller hump. A lot of sort of vintage racers have quite, it's quite tall, so they've got a real sort of bubble to them. This one's quite flat, but to get me started, I think this should be absolutely fine. So that's the plan. Get these fitted, get all the front fairing off, so that I can have a look and see how things are going to be mounted, and brackets, anything that I need to fabricate. Get these parts put on, and then go from there.